How we say is more important than what we say. This is why the right information communicated in the wrong manner often leads to chaos. Oftentimes, we try to be polite irrespective of how we feel about others, not just because it is expected, but because it protects the image of the people we speak to. This brings us to the concept of politeness theory. What is politeness theory? Politeness theory is a concept in pragmatics that focuses on the way we use language to perform certain functions such as issue a command, pass across an information, or even make an inquiry, while ensuring that our words are carefully selected to prevent hurting people's feelings. It is important that you choose your words carefully, because what you say to people can have a lasting impact on them. For instance, in breaking a disturbing news, you have to pick your words carefully in order not to alarm people, or throw them into a state of unrest. Politeness theory proposes that we preserve the dignity and image of others when addressing them, and refrain from using language in ways that undermine their independence and person. Concept of face in politeness theory. Face is a concept that is associated with politeness theory, and it represents the self-image or dignity of an individual. That is, an individual's conception of themselves as being capable of respect and love. We recognize two other concepts under face known as positive face and negative face. Positive face represents people's desire to be treated with respect, kindness and love, not contempt. In your use of language, you must take this into consideration when talking to people to avoid making them feel inferior or dejected. For instance, if a person approaches you to ask for directions, you should politely give them the directions if you can, or inform them that you do not have the information they need, politely. The conversation can look like this: "John, excuse me, sir, could you help me with the directions to Neverland Street?" "Sir, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know that place. You could ask the vendor down there. I'm positive she would know." "John, all right. Thank you, sir." Did you notice how both individuals in the conversation above were respectful in their choice of words? Not once did any of them make the other feel inferior, rather they protected each other's positive face, which is the desire to be treated with respect and kindness. Negative face, however, is based on the need to be autonomous and free from imposition. It basically has to do with the human desire to not be treated as less than human but as an independent and self-sufficient individual. When speaking to people, you should try to ensure that you do not sound like you are trying to impose your will on them, especially when they do not work for you or have any dealings with you that place you above them, such as the relationship between a king and his people. Even at that, you must be careful with your words to ensure that you do not disregard the independence of those you are speaking to. For instance, a conversation between a teacher and a student. Teacher: "Mercy, did you do your assignments over the weekend?" Mercy: "I'm so sorry, Mom. I was very occupied over the weekend, and had very little time to focus on my studies. I promise to do my assignments early in the future." Teacher: "That's all right. Just make sure to do your assignments because they help you improve on what you already know, okay?" Mercy: "Yes, Mom." In the conversation above, the teacher was considerate of the student's situation and so she addressed her appropriately as well. Notice, also, that she did not try to coerce the student into doing her assignments. Rather, she offered her an advice stressing the importance of assignments without imposing it on the student. Mercy. Face-saving act. This has to do with conscious actions that are geared towards the protection of an individual's face. That is, when we structure words in ways that take people's positive and negative face into consideration, so as not to embarrass them or hurt their feelings. Face-saving act is concerned with careful use of language to avoid undermining the dignity and self-worth of others. Face-threatening act. Unlike face-saving act, face-threatening act has to do with careless use of language without considering the feelings of others. When a person speaks to others without being polite, or even trying to be polite, rather they choose to be crude in their use of words. Such individuals can be said to be performing face-threatening acts. For instance, in a conversation like this, security, who are you and what do you want here? Kid, I'm sorry, sir. I got lost and was looking for my mom. Did you see her come by here? Security, will you leave this vicinity before I descend on you at once? The security was not considerate of the child's situation or emotion, neither did he try to be respectful in the way he spoke to her, hence violating her positive face. You would also notice that he violated her negative face by imposing his will on her, and undermining her independence when he asked her to leave the premises, thus performing a face-threatening act. So politeness theory is all about how you address people with respect and kindness when you speak to them. It focuses on using words that preserve a person's face, their self-image. Positive face represents the desire to be respected, while negative face represents the desire to be autonomous and independent. When you speak to people with respect, you are practicing a face-saving act, and when you do not, you are practicing a face-threatening act. Understanding politeness theory will help you in using the right words to address people, so as not to make them feel insignificant. See you soon.